Hello and welcome to the Hobby Hoarders podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Sam, and I'm joined by the half manticore, Matt Geary.
Bite ye. One thing, Sam. Oh no, you're right. You're sorted now. You were all blurry just there.
I'm blurry. Oh
You're
my
not
goodness.
blurry anymore.
Even the camera can't handle all of this.
Witness protection.
This episode is all about self-confidence because I know better Warhammer than this man. This shall we call pale imitation. Like, they made a copy and they did a first draft and they're like, this one's a bit too tall, he gets backache. They made one and they were like, this beard is just not quite big enough, so they made the beard fuller. No, basically Matt is just Sam 1.0.
Oh, fighting words, Sam. Fighting words. You're blurry again. Have you put your thing is have you put your focal length different or something? You're like literally. It's like I want my face blurred.
Literally set it.
I want my face.
How about that?
Yeah,
Is that better?
Yeah, better.
If it changes again, I'll switch back to my rubbish camera. But I'm on my nice camera, and I want to stay on my nice camera.
I have to apologize for the massive mess behind. I'm still kind of going through and selling stuff. Not this version of Heat as well. Played, which we can talk about. But
That is exciting.
I got a lot of stuff which I've sold, and still in the process of selling more. And there is a war boot in January actually, so I'm probably going to be back there.
Have you booked your table?
No, I will do. But yeah, keeps on blurring, man. Your face is blurring. Whatever it's doing, it's auto focusing on something behind you. I think there you go. That's probably better.
But it's such a rubbish camera. Oh,
Yeah.
Here, let me put the light up. What if I do that?
That's better.
How's that? That improves it.
Yeah,
it's amazing how much light changes the quality of webcams.
I was going to say, yeah. So before we go into the sort of kind of main thing, I played Hate. I've had that game for 4 years now. It's going to be about 4 years. 2018, is it? 2018, 2019, I think. And I finally played it last Friday.
And did you like it?
Or yeah, it's really good.
Hate it?
No, it's really good. It's sort of, it's really straightforward. There's like.
And do you see that in a good way?
Yeah, well, it's like this is another thing, right? Because I was talking, we can talk about like we had my other podcast. We had Steamforged Games on. We were talking to Steamforged Games, and they were talking about sort of kind of simplicity, and I was talking about I like complicated rules and blah blah blah. But then I was just like, but as I've kind of got a bit older and stuff, some of the simpler stuff is actually I kind of. I'm starting to enjoy more. So I said like Song of Ice and Fire tabletop game is quite straightforward sort of kind of rule set. It's not like there are a few ambiguities, but in general, it's like it is what it is. And there's certain things that are slightly annoying, like you should be able to get cover if you're getting shot in woods, but it doesn't because they've literally they don't want to sort of it to escalate. They've kind of gone, this is the way it is, and that's just that these things have specific rules. That's it, and. Because of that, there's certain games like I've been playing Blood Bowl a lot because we've got a league going and it's more simplified. That's quite enjoyable. And this game, Hate, which is there, it's kind of like Mordheim meets. Well, it's sort of like it's a skirmish sort of game, but you've got it. You base it on a campaign, so you can have one-off battles and stuff like that if you want. But it's really based along. You get this sort of kind of map, and I wonder if I can bring up you hit board game Google so you can sort of see what I'm talking about. See if I hit culminates or not. Yeah, so you get this sort of
people are putting furiously in the comments. You're comparing that to Mordheim. I can already feel myself typing it. Yeah. I mean, other people typing it.
Well, yeah, so basically, I'm always saying that because it's not going to be like Kill Team or something. In that, it's basically skirmish combat. It's skirmish combat, and I'll bring this up here so see that. So this is sort of what you get. It's sort of it's a very small board. You can't have two boards, but basically it gives you two boards so you can have people playing at the same time. You get pretty much all the factions in there. You get sort of 11 sort of basic guys. You get what they call a prince, which is this big sort of model, and it's a beautiful model. If they've got any of the, no, they don't. You get these really beautiful models, and then you get some mercenaries that you can sort of hire over time. And the way combat works is you sort of you roll a certain amount of dice depending on what your card gives you, and then if you outscore the amount of shields that they get on their dice roll, then they're knocked over. There's no sort of like other saving rolls or wounds. Bar the princes. The princes have 2 wounds, and mercenaries have like 2 or 3 wounds depending on who they are. But in general, everything else,
Mercenaries are tough then.
yeah. So it's basically just a case of they're down and they're out for the whole game. There's no reviving them. They're just down for the whole game. That's it. And you can
Wow.
and so you can literally so the game I played with a guy called Jake at Element, I was like, because we didn't realize how the game sort of kind of works, so we were just he was just throwing guys in and getting them knocked down. And what you do is each one of your guys can pick up one of the KO'd bodies, and at the end of the game, at the end of the sort of skirmish, you take that back to your camp, and you can either cook them and eat them, or you can torture them, and you get sort of bonuses for your camp and stuff. And so the whole game it's not about sort of like, in the one we played, you had to sort of persuade a mercenary to join your side, as well as sort of kind of, you get resources. So you can see on the board here, you can see these sort of little green hands. These are resource tokens. And these little huts, which are the things at the back that look like sort of parchment, but they're huts. You can raise them, and you can sort of raid them, and you get sort of resource points for being in there. And they are all for the greater good for your tribe, and then your tribe to move on to different areas within the campaign map. And the thing is, once one of your guys is dead, he's dead. That's it throughout the entire campaign and stuff. So you've got to be really careful with your guys. And the really interesting thing is, it basically encourages you to get in, get as much as you can, and get out again, even if you lose, because you don't want to end up with nobody left. So you're literally going in, getting stuff, getting resources, and getting out again. So it's sort of kind of, you get this quite sort of like, it took us, because we were sort of faffing around with things, but it took us, I don't know, 3 hours or something like that. But it shouldn't take you that long. It should, you're looking maybe an hour and a half for a game, maybe.
Is that per mission though? You said campaign.
Yeah,
maps,
per mission.
more...
And you could easily, you could probably get a campaign going out. If you spent the whole day on it, you could get a campaign out on it. And what and it's really basic. So your guy has a certain amount of attack dice. Your guy has a certain amount of defense dice, depending on what they are. You get these sort of, and I sent you some pictures on WhatsApp and stuff, but you get these see-through upgrade cards, and you can literally, each of your cards is that you get a sleeve, and you put these see-through upgrades onto the sleeve, and they have different positions depending on what they are. So sometimes they can override your main skill, but sometimes they are bonus to what you've got. And so you get a certain amount of these at the start of each skirmish, and then you can build on them depending on how many resources and stuff your clan, your tribe has at the end of the game. And they sort of mean you can reroll your defense dice, you can reroll your attacks, you can, do certain things, but it's nothing overly complicated. You literally have about 4 or 5 rounds within each mission. You have a specific task that you need to do for that mission, and each person, the attacker or the defender, depending on what territory you're going into, has specific things that they do. And yeah, really basic, really, really enjoyable. And you can see how you don't want your guys to get knocked out all the time, so you've got to be very careful.
Yeah.
You can sort of, certain warrior guys can support. So if they're beside you, you get an additional dice, stuff like that. But that's as complicated as it gets. You get support dice, stuff like that. It's literally just.
Do you know who the game designer is?
Cool Mini or Not.
Oh, sorry, I meant the actual game designer.
Oh, I know he's the guy who did the art.
Oh, I know the guy. Oh, what's his name? Yeah. Because he's the same guy that did Blood Rage's art, isn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember. Quite a famous.
But
do you
have an idea who
they did the comic books and stuff as
designer
well?
is?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, so Mike McVeigh, about sculpting process behind the figures. Yeah, I can't remember the top, to be honest. But Oh, you got game sheets as well. So yeah, it's I bought it because the miniatures are absolutely gorgeous. They're so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Um, and so
Oh, he's uh, I can't remember how you pronounce that. Olteanu, Oltenu. But apparently he was the head developer on Massive Darkness.
okay,
Adrian Smith, that's the artist's
Adrian
name.
Smith. That's but yeah, absolutely. I was really quite surprised. Its simplicity, the fact that I saw this small board and I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this or not. But yeah, it really because it's got sort of that tactical aspect to it because it's turnabout stuff you can do.
Yep.
But you can get sort of you each turn you get a certain amount of tokens that you can use to activate guys, and you can activate 2 guys per turn, 2 guys per sort of round. No, sorry, turn, and then you've got a round as well. So you go through them and you can do 2 at a time as long as you've got the activation tokens. If you don't, then you can't do it anymore. But the thing is, each person, if they've activated and they move forward, you put the activation token beside them. If you knock them down and you basically capture them, you can take that activation token from them, and you can use that. You can use that to give yourself more activations.
Bad enough your opponent's losing it, let alone
Yeah.
your that you get another one.
Yeah, so we just did a skirmish, so we didn't do any of the sort of kind of stuff that you get in the back end. So like, you get injury, your guys get injuries, and your guys get sort of you can torture them, and you can cannibalize them and stuff like that, and you get bonus points, and there's secret agendas and stuff you can do throughout the game. But it's sort of kind of it's not about just conquest. It's not about conquest at all. It's literally about resources, getting in, doing as much damage as you can without taking as much damage, and then getting out again, and then sort of kind of moving on. And then you get sort of bonuses for each little bit of the map. And there's like, you can have up to 6 people doing it at once. There's not loads of areas on the map because they want you to sort of fight each other quite regularly and stuff. But you've literally got these outskirts ones, and then you've got like an inner sort of central one. And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, and I was, took me 4 years to play it, but yeah, really enjoyed it. It's one of those games I think you could do over and over again, especially if you've got a campaign going. But yeah.
And did you manage to sell? Because you said I like to think from our last episode where we had a heart to heart about what is hoarding and whatnot. You said
copy.
you managed to sell a bunch more. So 2 weeks ago, did you manage to get the second copy done?
I'm selling it to the guy who I played it with, because he was
that's pretty high praise for a game.
Yeah, he was really like, he was just like, yeah, and he's like, I can't buy it now because it's not payday and stuff, but this coming payday, he said he'd buy it off me and stuff. So yeah, he's gonna have it. So that's
my problem is it was a Kickstarter exclusive, which means any of the extras are now so expensive to get.
Well, that's it. I was going to, like, I had it on, like, so it was about 100 quid, I think, brand new on Kickstarter.
The problem is, see, when people say that, I've sold Kickstarters before, and people turn around and they say to you, oh, you're making a profit on it, and I'm like, no, I'm asking for what I paid, plus the shipping that I paid, and people are like, no, you can't charge that. And I'm like, why not? The game has gone up in value because it's Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You and I both know it's worth more than this. All I'm asking for is what I paid plus the shipping. That is it.
Yeah. I had it on, like, when I was selling it at the last war, like, I've brought it to 2 warbits with me, and it hasn't sold. Like, people have been interested in the models, but I was asking like 150 quid for it, and I think 180 quid at one point in time. 150 quid, 180 quid, because it's just like, you can't buy it anymore. And again, 100 quid base, then shipping and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah. So I said to this guy, I said, look, because you play it with me, I know you're going to play it. I'm probably not going to sell this. I'll sell it to you for what I bought it for on Kickstarter. You can have it for 100 quid if you want, because I know the guy. And so
there's tons of models as well.
It's loads of models. So like, value for money. It's like we had that cast about value for money. Like, there are how many let's see. If I was going to get out and show, I was going to get the models out and show the models and stuff, but you've basically get
40?
six factions,
6 factions?
maybe. Yeah,
Alright.
five or six yeah, maybe it is 6 factions.
8 to 10 models?
Yeah, and there's 11 sort of big models, and you get more than that actually. I think you probably
Alright.
maybe it's about 8 factions.
I mean, if you look at the boxes right there, just look on the back of the box. Surely it'll say on the back of the box. It's all. This is why he keeps his room in darkness. You can't see the devastation that is currently wrought behind him.
All right, okay. Yeah, so you get all of those,
That's nice.
like, and all those.
I mean, look, the man is straining. Like, that is a heavy box.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you can see it more there. But yeah, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 factions. You get 8 factions, and you get all those big models, which are the mercenaries at the top and stuff,
Nice.
for £100. And you get all these amazing counters and things like
Cool
that.
Many or Not models have come on so much. Like, they're good quality now, those ones especially. The only thing that put me off is how it was sort of advertised and sold. It was using like the F word,
Yeah.
like it was going out of fashion. It was like,
It was-
"Ooh," and I was like, there's metal, and then there's whatever you're trying to do. So it didn't appeal.
It's a good
to me in
game.
that regard.
And it's very sort of like, and you can upgrade your guys, and you get that sort of whole, that whole thing of, your guys getting better. But permadeath, there's permadeath. Your guys are dead, they're dead. And you can get sort of.
I enjoyed the models so much. I bought a box just for those models,
And then you
like
give
one
it
of
to
the
me for my
expansions.
birthday.
I did.
Yeah.
They're really cool models, but yeah, I can't do it if it's been a Kickstarter in the past, and I can't get everything. I'm sorry, I'm done.
And I looked at some of the because after plus I look at some of these expansions are stupid money, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's gonna.
They were reasonably expensive when they came out. I think an expansion was like 40.
Yeah.
I might be completely wrong there, but maybe $40 and. But then again, now with $40, that is like 40 quid.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to back at the moment, and literally when it got announced, our prime minister was still our prime minister, so it was the worst exchange rate I've ever seen. I was like, wow, $1 is just £1.
I remember,
and now it's gone to $1.
I remember when we had $2 to the pound. That's how old I am. And
I bought a Mac from America.
Yeah.
Because it was £1 to $2, and in America it was $999 for a Mac, and it was £999 here. So it was like buying at half price.
Yeah, and I suppose even the tax and stuff like that. Probably problem with it is the tax and stuff. But yeah, so it was like I remember when I was in America, going to America like 2016, and I was trying to get some dollars, and it was like £1.35 or £1. And I was just like, thanks a lot, Brexit. And I was just like, it's sort of like, it's all sort of like, I was like, I was going to get so much more beforehand. Now you're like, £1.16 or whatever it is. And it's stupid. And I was just like, really bad. Good for Americans. They're going to get cheaper Forge World stuff and things like that.
Absolutely. But, now is the time. What will that do to Games Workshop? Do you think they will sell more because of that? What will happen? We just
no, because because a lot of it actually, I don't know because there's
Australians were always some of my best customers. I would just sell to them because they would pay you for like built and painted models a good price, because for them it was basically what they were paying anyway. So they're like, well, I might as well buy directly from someone who's selling a built army than go and buy a new one.
When I was selling some stuff, I was getting stuff from New Zealand and Australia, but it was just like they were giving me reasonable offers, but then it's like shipping was like stupid amounts and stuff, and I was just like, you're gonna have to pay for shipping as well. I'm like, oh, I can't pay for shipping. I was like, yeah, so I can't accept that because that's going to be another 50 to 100 quid on shipping and stuff. And then I was just like, yeah, I don't think I could sort of.
There was a guy recently who sold something on eBay, and I think he got £250, and then after all the eBay stuff, it was 205. So after shipping and eBay fees, he'd lost £45, I think it was.
Yeah, I've tried, because the stuff I'm selling, I had it on Facebook Marketplace because it's like eBay fees, fuck that, not gonna happen. But then you get offers on eBay, so I put a few things on eBay, so you basically got 80% off their fees,
Yeah.
And it lasted for 2 days, so I just fired on a load of stuff so I could try and get that. So I sold my old graphics cards and bought myself a new graphics card with the money that I got with that, which is good because my other ones were down. And then I sold like my Death Star Lego. I sold my Millennium Falcon Lego, and I sold my a camera, and I sold
And were you happy with all the prices you
oh
got
yeah,
for
yeah,
those?
got it. My Lego, right, man? Like, to get this right, I bought that Millennium. No, sorry, the Death Star Lego,
Which we were slightly worried at because there was a bit of damage on the
yeah.
packaging.
And bear in mind, like, I've had that forever. Like, I'm not sure, like, since we've known each other, probably.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah,
You were always like, "Don't lean on that box."
yeah. It's just like, and it's just sat there for a long time because
Was the color of the carpet different?
Yeah,
when
well,
you moved
yeah, yeah.
it? Genuinely.
And so I just sat there doing nothing, and I felt guilty. At one point in time, I was like, I'm going to build this. But I sold it. Like, I bought it for 300 quid, I think, when it came out. It's like 300 quid. I sold it for 550.
Nice.
Yeah, so 250 quid. Well, it's not profit because I gave them a stand with it, and I gave them a lighting kit with it as well. But, still a fair bit of profit on Lego. Lego, which you can't buy anymore, you can get good money for.
Yeah, if you'd held out, you probably could have got even more.
Oh yeah, I saw some of them going for 800, 900 quid and stuff, but I was just like, I was trying to be reasonable about it. There were people kind of going, like, being, you get when you're trying to sell stuff,
£2,000.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, no, but there's people that when they ask you, and it's like, well, but why have you sort of, they really lowball you and stuff, and then they sort of kind of get really weird. I had one woman who, that was so annoying. So my Millennium Falcon, which I had built, I had a stand for it, I had a lighting kit for it, and had loads of interest on it and stuff. And then I was going to sell it to some lady from Wakefield, I think, or something like that. So she'd come she was going to come all the way down to pick it up.
Not that far then, yeah.
And is it Wakefield? Sorry, it's Wakefield out near sort of, where about is Wakefield? Is that sort of
It's not that far away. It's like an hour, maybe.
Yeah, yes, about Wakefield. I think it was Wakefield. And so she sort of like said, or her daughter, her granddaughter wanted it for her birthday, and sort of early Christmas present. And I was like, okay, cool. And she was going to offer me what I wanted. I was like, great. And she was going to pick it up. I was like, so I don't have to faff around with it. And then I got this other woman who from local, and she's all like, I'll buy that off you. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just about sort of she hasn't sent me the money yet, but she's sort of gonna buy it. And she said, I'll pay more if you tell her, I'll give you more for it and stuff if you sort of say it's sold, and I'll pay you. And I was just like, okay. She's just like, just let me sort of, when can I pick it up and stuff? Because she was like local, and I was just like, well, I'm free, I'm working from home. And she's like, well, I'll come around tomorrow and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool, right. So I told the other one, I said, look, I'm really sorry, I've done the mercenary thing, they've offered me more money, I'm really apologize. She says, I'm quite disappointed in that. And I was like, I know, but money, and everybody at this moment in time, you kind of need it. And then literally it came to the time when she was going to pick it up, and she sent me a message. She says, I'm sorry to do this, but something's come up. I can't buy it anymore. I was like, I fucking just told this other woman I can get it. Thankfully, I went crawling my hands and knees and went, I suppose you don't want this anymore. She's like, yes, I do want it, because she obviously
Did you knock a little bit off as an apology?
No, she didn't ask for anything off it. She just sort of gave me what it was and stuff. So she was very good about it. So yeah,
wow. I wouldn't have had the balls to go back to the other woman. Like,
well, I did. I said, look, in the end, I shouldn't have gone for I gone for the money. It's not worked out. If you want it still, it's here. It's completely up to you. And she said, yeah, because obviously, you can't get that Millennium Falcon anymore. It's out of production and stuff. So I had the instructions and everything. So she got it.
To be fair, last time with Evandale, was it Evandale, whatever it was, it worked out for you when you did that. So
yeah. So
when you sent the stuff via Evandale, I can't remember what the other game was that we were chatting about last week.
Oh right, yeah, the sort of kind of dungeon crawler type one. Yeah, same thing happened.
And did you post that or
no? He came all the way from Leeds. He came all the way from Leeds to pick it up and stuff. Yeah,
wow.
So he came in, and sort of he sent me after because he came into the room and stuff, and he's like, "Yo, this is really good and stuff," and then he bought it, and then he sent me a message just like, "Oh, do you so your website, do you need people to do articles?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, we're always looking for people to sort of can write stuff. It's voluntary type thing, so just as and when." He says, "I wouldn't mind." It's like, "Well, if you send me something, I'll have a read of it." And he went, "Yeah, yeah, cool." I didn't, and I never did. Never bought it. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
hate,
you're feeling
good
better
win.
then? It sounds like you've shifted a whole bunch.
Yeah, I've sold for £2,000 worth of stuff.
So a quarter of the way, fifth of the way to your goal.
5,000. Yeah, I was looking for the aim to 5,000. That being said,
And did you immediately put it where we discussed?
it's all in the bank. Well, it's not in the bank. It's in the eBay sort of jail at this
It's
moment.
supposed to be on the credit card.
It's on eBay.
That was what you're trying to do.
I know, but I can't stick it on there until I kind of get out of eBay jail, which they won't let me have my money until can't get my money until the 7th of November. But yeah, it's going on the
Whoa.
7th of
Whoa.
November. Yeah, they spent ages because I haven't sold anything in ages, so they're just you've got to make sure that I'm not
Just
scamming
the
people.
initial sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also are like, well, the person's got the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I have my money?
Yeah. So so we're get that, and then I'm gonna try and sell a load more stuff, and then like the 5,000 is a goal. Thing is, like, Christmas coming up, girlfriend's coming over, so I've some of that's
Sounds
gonna
like a list of excuses to me.
it's gonna get some of that's gonna get spent because there's no it's just this is the way it is. But at least
Do you know if you're going over to Ireland for Christmas?
yeah, going for a week. As of like the 22nd or 23rd of December, I think I'll be back for a week. And yeah, and then
To get games in.
yeah, I might get a game in with my bro, as we do.
I was meaning like if you're here and I'm also off, it'd be nice to have a game.
All right, yeah, cool, yeah. But yeah, so just sort of trying to chip away, sell some stuff. Still working on the cards from. I've got the chaos. I was doing so well. Got through the death ones. Got through the order ones. Got through the destruction ones, and then I've got chaos, and it's just been sitting there on my table in order. I just haven't gone through them to sort of kind of put them onto my my phone and stuff. And like it's just like the dog comes over and it slobbers all over them. Like, oh no, slobbering over them.
How do you manage your time? Do you sort of like try and plot a little bit of each day, or do you just go?
No, I go through periods of sort of being organized and then not being organized. But this is the whole ADHD thing. My sister, she's got some medication for hers and stuff, and apparently it's really helping her with her artwork and stuff. Like she can sit there and actually do something. So I have to wait a bit to sort of see what Psychiatry UK say and stuff. I've sent them. I basically need to see somebody. I've sent out all the forms and stuff, and then if that, turns out I am, which I'm pretty confident I am, then we can sort of think about medication, which will hopefully make me focus a bit more when it comes to stuff like that. Which means I can
anything.
Yeah.
It's good. It's one of those things. Is a lot of people are always nervous to go and get a diagnosis for anything, but the point is a diagnosis of something doesn't give you it. It purely gives you help and the knowledge that you actually have something. It's I would say to anyone that would be worried about any kind of condition, put in something in. Don't just look on what's it called, WebMD.
Yeah, WebMD.
Is that the online doctor? WebMD.
Yeah, but yeah, so
yeah, we've all done it. You type in your things. I've got African sweating sickness. Oh, have you been to Africa? No, but then you probably haven't been bit by, I don't know, a tsetse fly. I know a lot about this.
But yeah, so it's just a thing. Sort of, it's like it's quite. I think it's a lot. It's quite big at the minute because there's a lot of people on TikTok and things like that. You're going on about it. So when I went to the doctor about it, he just wasn't interested. He was just like, in his mind, I think it was a fad. And I said to him, look, man, I understand that this is quite popular at this moment in time. And the NHS was like, he said, like, if you want to do the NHS, it's going to take 2 years before you'll get anything. We can go through it, like you can go through a charity. I didn't realize I could have probably gone through work because we have like health insurance there, but I went through the charity, and that's going to take 6 months. But it was just like he just didn't want to hear about it. He wasn't like in his defense, he did write the referral. He kind of did it, but I get the impression that maybe he's had a lot of people, and I understand maybe some people are just using it as an excuse. But for me,
Yeah.
there's definitely downsides, relationships, obsessive behavior when it comes to impulse buying and stuff like that. So the things that affect me physically and mentally that I sort of want to deal with. And
Yeah.
so that's for me, it's like I want something, even if it's just somebody who can sit there and tell me how to work through it in a sort of kind of mental, even if I can't get medication, just sort of somebody who can go, right, this is how you structure yourself and this is how you kind of get through it and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it'll be good. I think either way it works out nicely. I've sent you some pictures about what I've been up to. So I'm back on the YouTube train. I got a video out, and then there was a week where I didn't quite manage to get one out, which immediately made me want to go, oh, well, what's the point? Even though I was editing late into the night. And then I got another one out, and then I've had another one out. So it's going pretty well. Three videos since I got back. I've also got one recorded as of today. Still needs to be edited by Wednesday, and I've got another one I actually sent to an editor. It cost 15 quid, and he's basically taken the footage that I'd already cut down and like removing all the text and like whatnot. But he's going to do the editing, so I'm interested to see how that is. But I also thought I would give it a go.
This is this your
thumbnail.
new video, or is this?
So I've got a video that's being edited,
and that cost you 15 quid.
Audible, 15 quid. Yes.
Okay.
So or $15, so like 10 quid. And then those ones I've just sent you pictures of, I paid £10 to get thumbnails, which seems crazily low to me. Like it was like £3 sort of per thumbnail. Now don't get me wrong, they didn't come out exactly as I wanted, but they're also phenomenal for £3. Like
yeah, for 3 quid.
They need to sort of value themselves higher, I would say. But no, they weren't quite what I wanted. The Space Marine's very cool. The miniature guy isn't much use for anything. And then there's me, which I don't think I've ever looked that jacked in my life.
Yeah, and sans beard as well. It's like there's more, that should
He
be on
did
your
say
chin.
he's updating it to send it with a beard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But,
yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if you should pay. I'm not sure if you should pay because, right, and we talked about this in our after the last video, last podcast, we discussed your last video and stuff, and I think you are your main selling point, and I think because you've got a big beard and stuff like that, and you've got these sort of kind of quite interesting faces you pull and stuff when you sort of kind of do it. I think those are your thumbnails, and I think they are your selling point. Those are that is your USP.
Yeah. Yeah, because they ain't my painting.
It's not that, but like everybody paint. I'm saying, as in the sort of kind of sort the wheat from the chaff, as it were, and stuff like that. And I think, as much as they are cheap, and they're cheap thumbnails, and they're they're not bad for what you paid them. I don't think there's I prefer the ones with just like you kind of going like this. Or
yeah, my hope was that I could get them to do like thumbnails and then put my face into the thumbnail, like a real face into the thumbnail. So to do that sort of blend of both. And I think it's worth another shot, but I think you need to be a lot. The thing is
you could
when I was chatting to them.
You could do a video on that. You could do a video on.
My friend at MiniQuest64, Sergey, he already did a video on his experiences in Fiverr, and he was like really rigid with them, and he was like do this, do this. Now, I would normally be like that in any sort of business situation, but I'm 90% sure that this is like a kid doing it.
Okay.
Like just the way they message and the sort of the not business acumen of it.
Okay, right.
Because like when I say £9, which country do you sort of think I'm talking about?
Well, if it's £9, it's England, isn't it? or
No,
UK?
that's what I paid, but
Okay,
obviously Fiverr can translate it into any currency.
okay, I don't know. I'm
You
assuming it's
think you
like,
could get an artist in the UK to
oh
do
yeah,
three
it's
photos like
going to
that?
be somebody in sort of like India or something like that, isn't it?
That's what I thought. USA.
Okay, yeah.
So this again just makes me more think that it was a kid. So I was like, you know what? Like I paid them. I also tipped them because I was like, they're American,
But
so they're expecting a tip. I
10%,
was like,
90p, 90 cents or 90p, yeah.
that's 10% is UK in
Oh right,
America.
yeah,
It's
it's like
gonna be way
15,
more,
20 and
isn't it?
stuff. You have to, yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Basically, I tipped them like 9 quid. Paid 9 quid and just tipped them 9 quid.
My dog's kicking off, man. So you're gonna have to entertain the guests while I go and get them in. Sorry about this, birth moment.
I mean, I could sing about it. One thing that I quite want to get is the new Warhammer sort of kids range. Obviously, I'm reading a lot of babies books at the moment, including obviously reading some of the things that I read as a kid. I've got the Hobbit pop up book, which is great. It's the entire Hobbit distilled down until maybe 10 to 15 pages, and like it's got a fold out, and like Shelob like pops out, and like the trees pop out, which I think is really funny because if the Hobbit can be distilled into just 15 pages of a pop-up book, then clearly it couldn't be made into 3 movies. So yeah,
What have I missed?
pop-up book. I've got a Hobbit pop-up book that's
Ooh.
like 15 or 20 pages. I think it's really funny that you could distill the Hobbit into 15 pages, but they could also stretch it out into three.
Well, yeah, they
three
tried.
movies.
They tried to, and yeah, less we talk about that, the better.
Speaking of that, I've been bad. I've been a bad man. I've been a bad man. I got another model.
Oh, Sam.
I
Oh,
got
Sam.
Bjorn.
After our last conversation, is he gonna be? Is he gonna be painted, Sam?
He's already built, cleaned, and green stuffed.
Yep, that's me. Is he gonna be painted, Sam? Or is he
If
gonna?
you'd watched my last stream, did you see how many models I painted in my last stream?
Yeah, okay, that's right. Just,
You didn't. You didn't watch it. That's okay. That's okay. I took some of my. Remember the Romans we talked about, and I had a
I
whole
actually
Roman
watched your
army.
last stream.
Did you?
Not live. Not
Very
live.
much.
Not live. I watched the.
Oh.
I watched the video afterwards
Oh,
when I
right,
was
cool.
sorting things out.
They're all unlisted, so I don't know how you found it, but well done.
Oh, it was definitely a stream because I came up on my my thing and I was watching you. I was watching you
Weird.
paint. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks for watching. I don't know how you saw it. They're all unlisted. Basically, what I found was it gets really cluttered if I keep the streams in. Now, apparently, YouTube are going to update that, so there'll be a separate page for videos, streams, and shorts. So I'll put them back up when that happens.
Okay.
But until it happens, I've just delisted them all. They're in a playlist, but they're all delisted just because I didn't like the way it looked. But yeah, I painted 50 Romans. And then in this week's stream, yeah, it's still Sunday, isn't it? This week's stream, I built. Guess how many horses I managed to build in 3 hours?
No idea.
16. That was it.
Oh, okay.
Because cleaning the models, oh man, it takes so long. That's something that I'm definitely going to check out. See if someone in the UK cleans models, builds and cleans models.
Oh,
I want to see like.
I had one of my mates. Like I had like an old 360 and stuff, and I said, like, man, because he wanted like an Xbox so he could play some games and things. I said, if you build a load of my models for me, you can have mine and stuff. Because I'm just like, I just can't be arse building all. So he built them. He spent ages building models for me.
That's amazing because you was this when you were more relaxed? Because now when we talk about building models, you're like,
oh, building's fine. Oh, anybody build my models. It just comes when it comes to sort of painting stuff. That's where I'm a bit sort of iffy about it and stuff. But yeah, no, because I'm trying to cut things down. You know, I'm happy to let people build the models. You sat there and built my. You sat there and. Well, I say built.
I know, but it wasn't easy. It took a little bit of convincing for you to let me do it.
Yeah, well, building's not an issue for me and stuff. Though I have to say, Sam, there was some shoddy work with that sort of like you were using a scalpel and there was loads of little bits of flesh and all over, and I had to go in and sort of file them down and stuff. You know,
it's a hard life.
Yeah,
it is a hard life.
Why do you think I've got trust issues? It's like,
I never said that those were perfect. I did like the entire box, cut them all out.
Yeah,
cut all
you did. The other reason I don't like it being done that way is because I then had to go through and organize all the different cavalry and stuff into different sort of kind of, because you had heavy cavalry, light cavalry, you had cuirassiers, you had hussars, you had dragoons and things like that. And it's like, right, so I was checking which ones were which and then against the box because they were
As you
all
cleaned them.
yeah, but I had to sort of go through it all. I kind of like them
Or
in little piles.
no, you sorted them first, didn't you?
I sorted them all out.
Such a waste of time. Such a waste of time. You should have been cleaning them and then putting them, building them.
Yeah.
Oh. But then we did your cards, which was a lot of fun. It was nice looking at all the artwork.
Yeah, really
I played
nice.
a game. Have you ever played Wingspan?
No, can't say I have.
No, it's a game where basically you collect birds and then you lay eggs and then you get food for those birds and they score you points. And I just spent the entire game just getting as many birds as I could. I ended up like a stack of like this big, which doesn't score you any points. But I just wanted to see as many of the cute bird photos as possible. My opponent was like, "Do you know how to play this game?" And I was like, "I'm having a great time." And to be honest, that's what matters.
Oh, I sort of think I sort of mentioned you in the last. I was going to say because you were talking about the doggy Dungeons and Dragons. What's it called? What's the one with the?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I can't remember.
Some things to the coast.
It was the one where the dog you like collecting.
Yeah, Dungeons and Doggos, but
yeah.
it's called something
Steam
Coast.
For Steam.
Yeah,
That
Wizards
was
Coast or something.
Yeah, it was Steamforge Games, I think, isn't it? Because they
Well, Steamforge printed it, but it was made by someone else.
Yeah, because we were talking about they were talking about that, and I was like, oh my, we had a conversation about this in our last podcast with Sam, and I was just like, and he's saying like obsessed with the dogs and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna back their Elden Ring one.
Yeah.
But Elden Ring for me is the one game. So it's hilarious. I watch a lot of people playing games. I'm not particularly good at playing games, so I enjoy watching other people play games, which is interesting that I don't really. I occasionally watch Tabletop Titans, or I used to, because it was a good thing to sort of fill time, like a 2-hour stream of them playing 40k.
Yep.
But when it comes to video games, I love watching people play video games, which always winds my dad up. My dad's like, "Why are you watching someone else play something you could play?"
Oh
and
man,
I'm like,
I've been obsessed with like Minecraft recently. Just watching loads of Minecraft videos.
Minecraft?
Yeah, it's like, and I started playing it again. I haven't played it in years, but I started playing it again on the survival one. So like getting killed all the time. But I'm like sitting there, kind of trying to build this sort of kind of base, and then I built this base into one. I was like got this long corridor where it's like my mining corridor, and then I've got little areas and stuff where all my stuff is. And then I found this like I was trying to build sort of kind of like this canal network, and then I found there's an ocean here, and I went across and I found this big mountain. I was like, I'm gonna build like a big tower on top of that, and then I was kept on getting killed, and then having going all the way back, and then I forgot. I was like, oh, I need to get a bed and put it here, and yeah. So I've been watching that loads, and then conversely playing it myself.
It's good when you've got a bunch of friends sort of doing it. We did it. I might have played it like a long time ago, but I don't really remember doing it. Like, no, I don't think I did. I think when I played it with my friends, like during lockdown, so like a year or so ago, it was the first time that we were sort of playing it. That's one thing I really do miss about lockdown is all those people that I could play with have sort of now they're like, nah, I don't have time. And you're like, you do have time.
Yeah.
You could arrange to do it. I appreciate that times are different, but you could still arrange for us all to have a game.
Oh,
that was the nice thing.
Yeah, it's like it's just like people making sort of excuses how they can't play stuff. Like at the minute, right, I was getting really frustrated with two of the guys. My two mates were playing Blood Bowl, and we've got this sort of rule that you've got 2 weeks to play your match, and then we move on so people can get their games in. They because they've both got kids and things like that, and they didn't finish. They played like part of the match one week and then another part of the match the next week, and then they didn't finish it. And I said, look, you got one more week. I know you got kids, blah blah blah. I in the end they've got I think they have time. They could have done it within the 2 weeks, but I said, right, okay, you got one more week, and then they didn't do it again in that last week, and I was like, oh, and I didn't want to be that guy who's turning around and going, I'm a single man who has, no kids and stuff like that. Therefore, you're not having more time to do this. I set this down in law. So I sort of had a bit of a moan, but I let them have a bit more time. And then it got sort of like halfway through the next week, And my mate Russell sent me a message, and it's just like, I've tried a few times to get him to play, and he's just not sort of getting it. So I just drew the line in the sand, went, right, game's over. And because he's tried, and because he was the last person to score, it's 1-0. That's the way it is. A month is more than enough to play a 3-hour game. You could literally play an hour a week, and you could still, you could finish it, but you haven't. So I was sort of, so I'm from now on.
This
I'm
guy's
going to be.
Was he raging?
No, he was all right, because I think he understood. He realized, I think even if you've got kids, you're going to be able to have an hour a week to do something, and it's just down to your choice about what you do. And you're gonna have more than that, but because they've got other things.
I definitely have, like, there's definitely an aspect of you're tired all the time, so you're just like, ugh. Like, if one of them went to the other's house, that would be absolutely fine. They would just play it. Yeah. But because they were playing it were they playing it online? It sounds like
Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah. But you would have thought you could just still sat down. The kids go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they had time, and this was it. I was just like, there's no excuse. Basically, what's happened is, I grant, I understand. And one of them works as a joiner, and he works quite long hours and stuff. So I sort of kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt. But it was just like, it was a month is too much, and I said, look, I understand you got kids. I know it's hard, but a month is way too long to play one game. And I felt like the douchebag who was always chasing them to play their games and stuff, because as soon as they, but the way it worked is that if they didn't play their game, the next person couldn't play their game, and it had this knock-on effect. And so there's one guy who's had one game all season, and 2 buys, because one guy left and two guys left. One because he had a kid and he couldn't play, and the other guy because he's just weird. But he's had one game in the whole season, and he couldn't play for ages because these two spent a month playing their game and stuff, and they were both playing him next. So he sort of like, one had 1 week and then the next one. So this guy wasn't getting to play any games because these guys couldn't get their fucking shit together and stuff. So
have now games been played?
Oh yeah, so like I'm on. I wonder if I'll show you, because it's actually on. It's on Tour. There's a thing called Tour Play.
The question is has Matt kept his no losses? How exciting!
No, I've got 1 loss. Oh no, sorry, lie. I've got 1 draw. I've got one draw. Again, it's annoying because the draw was against my mate Marsden, who's got vampires, and he's getting absolutely bitch slapped by everybody he plays, bar me, where he decided to fucking get his game out, and I was really really close, because I was just like, shit. I had like 4 guys left, and I was like, I'm going to lose this game. And I was very lucky. He was the one who got the two sets of skulls in a row. Yep. So he rolled skulls twice in a row, which odds are really high. If it weren't for that, he would have beaten me. But the thing is, everybody else he's playing, he's getting bad dice rolls. His guys are, getting injured and stuff. And so, it's quite amusing. But yeah, 1 minute, I'll show this. It's a thing called Tour Play, which you have to pay for, but it's like minimum amount. And it's quite a cool wee site. So you can do it on your phone as well. So this is our thing. This has got all your matches that I've gone through. This is a news section which I add to, sort of like, goblin chainsaws, which is basically.
Are you running this then?
Yeah,
I didn't realize you were the one sort of running it.
Yeah, I run it. So I do little news things for all the different different matches and things like this. Little tongue-in-cheek little news sections for it and stuff. And these are all the current like people when they've upgraded their characters and stuff like this. You can then check out the fixtures. So currently, we are waiting for my mate Russell's team to play the Wood Elf team. You can click on that, and it gives you how they are. So it tells you their defense and their attacks and things like that, and how good they are based on their last games against each other, which is really cool. He's currently got a win, a loss, and 2 wins and a loss. The S's are win. And the same with Josh. He's got two buys effectively, and a loss. So they're equal in games, but Russell's team's probably a lot better. And you've got so my next match again is against Russell. There, but my guys are storming ahead. Look at that. I've got an excellent offense. I've got an awesome defense. I'm awesome with brutality. My resistance is solid. I'm not a very dirty player. Though I have filed a few
Is
people.
this based on the stats of your players
Yeah,
or
yeah.
your performance in the game?
So this is your performance on how many casualties and things like that. So if I go to my team, you can check out your team and stuff. Um, it's got all their sort of kind of what they have, star player points and things like this. It gives you all of their like touchdowns, their casualties. Like here we got Dan Martino's had he's caused 3 casualties.
I would definitely try and kill Matt
Gierzanowski. Oh,
Gerzanowski.
Gierzanowski's annoying because he's the only proper painted one I've got. He hasn't really done very much. My main sort of like Sure Hands McGee, who's a catcher. He's running. He's had a lot of scores. My other guy, Reginald Stipworth the fourth, is a thrower, and he's had 3 touchdowns as well. So he's a marked man. I bought an ogre recently, so I've just bought an ogre called Elliot.
Elliot.
My friend's kid's called Elliot, so the guy he had to leave because his kid was born. I said, in your honor, man, I'm going to name my ogre after your child. So I've called it Elliot. So his child's called Elliot, and he's called Elliot. But yeah, cute. So you get
Has Elliot played it yet?
No, he's my next game and stuff. I am currently the most valued team, which isn't a good thing because you get sort of underdog stuff where people get bonuses against you and shit. But it's good because it tracks everything, so you can go in and you can add in all your stats. You can run the game. So once you have a game, you go in, put everything in there while you're playing the game. It marks it all down for you. It tells you like these guys have niggling injuries. It tells you their injuries and stuff. Tells you their values. And then
I can't remember in Blood Bowl, can you do subs? So, for example, in Dread Ball, I can have a roster of 20 guys in total if I've maxed out the roster. But I have to choose like 8 that are going to play the game. And then I can't use the other 12, if that makes sense.
So you can have 11 players on the pitch, and then you can have up to 15 or 16. So you can have another 4 or 5 in the sub box, sort of that you can bring on at some point in time, which is good because I'll have a few spare players. It's got all kinds of things. So you got your calendars, you got your honors, which is really good. So it's like currently team wise, my team is the most valued, which isn't great because that means if I play somebody with a lower value, then they get inducements against me. Currently, I'm the second most famed. The current sort of Splinter Milan here are currently standings. They're winning. So the Skaven player, who's also veteran Blood Bowl player, he's currently winning with 4 wins. I've got 3 wins and a draw. He's my last game. So if I win all my games and he wins all,
not mean like a bye? Did you say?
So an S is basically if. So for example, this guy, the Arnhem Mighty Hydras, he left at the very start. So basically, every time you play this guy, you get a win, a concede. So an S is conceding. So we get concede, and then unfortunately, Children of Corn, my friend Phil, he's just had a kid. He just doesn't have time to sort of kind of play. So you get a bye against you get a win against him, and you get a wins against him. And
why does it give you an S rather than a W? So is that less valuable?
What's it called? It's a
substitution.
I can't remember what it's called. It's a I can't remember exactly what it is, but you basically you concede one side or another. I can't remember what it means, but it basically means it's a win effectively, or a loss. It basically means that it's not been played, but you get the points for it. So currently, I'm on like 10 points. I'm two points behind the current leader. That being said, my touchdowns are equal with him. I've caused more casualties than him. So if it comes to the very last game, which is game 11, I think. Let me see, try and fixtures. I think if we go to game 10. Game 10 is my last game of the season against him. If I so there's our stats and stuff. He's got a better offense than me. But if he wins all his games and I win all my next games and stuff, it's basically down to if we draw, then he wins because it'll be 2 draws. If I win, then I have to win and have more touchdowns or more casualties. So basically, it could come down to this last match. I'm kind of hoping one of the other guys will beat him or sort of draw with him, make things slightly easier on me. But as it stands, it's probably likely he's going to win all his matches because he's very good. So yeah, it might come.
The thing I always find painful is when you are playing on the top table, so it's you or this other guy, and then if you lose that, you're not second, you're like fourth at best, like, or do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's brutal how it works.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's like he did. The guy who's Skaven, he's really good painter as well. He played a undead team in a tournament recently, a NAF tournament, and I think he came 6th. I think, and it was like joint. It was effectively like joint 4th because but it was down to sort of kind of touchdowns and things like that. But he was really annoyed because the last guy he played, and this could have made him 3rd, I think. The last guy he played ran out of time and basically took too long to do his turn, and he basically he couldn't sort of finish off his last turn to do things and stuff. So there was he was a bit annoyed about that, and that's where like sort of chess clocks I think come into it and stuff, where you kind of need to.
I've had it in tournaments where if you're playing the like, especially on the second day, the match before lunch, and your opponent's like, "Oh, we'll just keep playing," or the tournament organizer doesn't come around and go, "Right, guys, that's lunch." They don't call time on it. Like, they call time on every other match, but not the one before lunch. And I hate that because so often I'll be winning, and then they'll be like, "Oh, we'll just continue playing over lunch," and I'm like, "No, we're at time over. It doesn't matter. We're playing for the time."
Yeah, when it comes to like chess clocks and stuff like that, I generally am not bothered, but it has burned me a few times. There's been once where many moons ago when I played a tournament, and I was playing an orc player, and he literally had this horde army, and it was taking him so long to do everything. Like I don't mind sort of taking time, but this guy, I think we got to turn 3, and he was literally spending most of his time just moving his guys because he had so many of them, and I was just like, and it ended up him winning, but not because he was playing better. It was just because it was just attrition, and I could have got more points had it got to turn
4,
5.
you would have mastered his stuff, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I was just like, but it got to turn 3, and he was just sort of kind of taking so long, and it was just like I should have, in the end, I should have just asked for the chess clock and stuff. Generally, I think at the start I'll do it now, but if I've lost a few games, then I'm just like, I'm not bothered and stuff. Towards when you get to sort of this mid table and you're against people who are on your level, you're like, I'm not too bothered about it and stuff. But yeah, it has burned me a few times where it's like people who overran or have spent ages doing something, and I'm just like, ugh. Conversely, I've had it where I've made a lot of mistakes because I was panicking because I was like, shit, I'm running out of time here, so I've had to fire stuff through and like that. So it's one of these.
I do prefer clocks. I think it just works out better.
Yeah,
if you
I think
decide
it
to
sort
go
of
a swarm
saves.
army, that's your choice.
It saves arguments. I think in the end you have an X amount of time to play your team, and that's just the way it is. You've got a certain amount of time to do this. And I saw discussions. People are like sort of like, you should have, the game. You've got 2.5 hours or whatever it is to play the game. You've got, that means you've got like an hour, and you've got an hour and 15 each, and you can take as much time as you want. But as soon as your time is over, and especially in 40k, it's like once your time's over, you can make saves, but you can't do anything else. You can stand still and you can make saves. And I saw one of the guys from Hellstorm Games. He did a talk. He was at the London GT, and he was having a bit of a moan about how this guy was playing really slowly, and he actually gave him some of his time to do his moves, and then this guy at the end basically kept on moving stuff even though he'd run out of time, and he kept on giving him more time of his time to do it, and at the very end he was going to win, but then the other guy kicked off and said, no, because of this, I'm going to win. And by which time he'd had enough. Just kind of went, okay, I'm done now. I'm sort of, and he let him have the win, even though he didn't think he deserved it and stuff.
I hate that.
And then he said he went, he talked to the organizers, and the guy came over and said, yeah, well, this is how it works. And then he walked off, and he didn't enforce it. And so there was sort of like, this guy wasn't enforced. He just kept them. He was like, yeah, I understand, and kept them moving his guys and stuff like this. And it was just like, it's one of those things. It's like when I was talking to the Blood Bowl groups, I was talking, it's a bunch of mates, and I was like, you've got 2 weeks to do this. It's been on week 3. I understand. If you've got an extra week, you've got a bit of leeway here, but get your game done. And one of the other guys was like, yeah, it's just a bit of fun. I said, yeah, but other people can't have fun because
and
these
also,
guys
you're
can't
taking
finish.
up their time.
Yeah,
like you're not only just wasting your time, you're wasting all of our time.
Yeah.
So you're ruining our potential fun.
You have to have a line. Even fun games, I think you have to have the line. If it's like, me and my brother, if you've got days or you've got a full day and stuff like that, fine. That's a bit of fun. But if you are playing something even slightly competitively, you have to have some sort of line there to say, this is the line, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is. It is still meant to be fun, but if we don't have these rules, then people take advantage of it, and they do take advantage of it. And I've seen it.
I do think that you can have fun with it, like a chess clock, though.
Well, you can,
for example, when you and I play Cool Mini or Not's Game of Thrones, we can take a little bit too long. Like, we could get 2 games in, but instead we get 1 game in because we're going, if you do that, then I'll do that, then I'll do this. And it's not chess.
Yeah.
Like, just play it.
Yeah, well, I think if you're playing it competitively, you have to understand that there has to be a line somewhere and stuff. But yeah, it's.
I think one of the worst examples of it, I think it was Brian Pullen, who's a competitive Tau player, and he was like the LVO, and he went and played this guy. The guy made a massive cock up, which basically meant game over for that guy. So he was like, oh, well, sort of, yeah, it's fine, you've won. That's fine. So Brian was like, all right, cool. So then they sort of like messed around for the rest of the time. And then the guy was like, oh, I've won. And Brian was like, no. We agreed that you'd already lost. We were just playing, having fun now. And then the guy turned around to the tournament and was like, look, I've won one. And Brian was like, really? And I was like, that's brutal. Like,
yeah, you get, I think, competitive edges, and
waka.
I can understand sort of when you're playing. I think it's one of these things. I've played games, and you can tell, like, I like winning and stuff like that, and I do get this whole thing where I kind of, especially in the first couple of matches where it's important, because as soon as you lose a match or something, then you're not gonna win. So you're just like, and I'm not.
Submarining is a thing. I have played against people who've won by submarining. Like, they lose the first game I've played against people that didn't do it intentionally, but they've lost the first game and then they've come back. But some people deliberately lose the first game, so they get a couple of easier games.
Yeah, but in 40k, you have to, all the top players, you've got to win all your games to sort of kind of get to the top table and stuff. You're not going to win. But like, you get to a point where, even if you want to sort of get sort of a good placing on the table, and generally, if you're in the mid-table, sort of in the 50s or like 100 players, if you're in the sort of mid-table, nobody gives a shit. You just you have good games. Then it literally is just playing the game and having a good time. It's not an issue. But if you're sort of like, and I've been, once or twice, I've been third and I've been sixth before and stuff, and those games are completely different things. And they're very. You do get people who will try and do stuff, and I'm not saying cheating, but they're stretching things, and things are sort of, they're being a bit more sort of like unsportsmanlike and stuff. And I'm very easygoing and stuff, and I'm happy for people to sort of take things back and stuff like that. But then you got people who, like, I played a guy and he was on me like, I made a mistake. Oh shit, man, I shouldn't have done that. He's like, oh well. And then it came back later, and he was like, "Oh shit, I made a mistake. I'm going to take that back." And I was like, "Nope, I'm afraid not.
Yeah,
You're not.
right.
I told you I was happy to let you do that, but you didn't let me do it." And you get that sort of kind of that's the downside of it, because you do get that sort of kind of, it it doesn't become, it's not as fun because there is like that sort of edge to it, and it can be slightly, it can be
That's the
slightly
worst
nasty.
situation when you've agreed a gentleman's agreement that that's the kind of game you're going to play, and then
Yeah.
someone changes it up. That's not cool.
Yeah, and I get there's like there's one game like there's a couple of games that sort of stick in my head. And there was one game. There was a Scottish fella, and I was sort of playing. He had orcs again. This wasn't the same guy who was taking ages. Really nice guy. We were getting on really well. We had this sort of, we didn't use the clocks and stuff like that. We both agreed. We were both doing things, but it was quite close game, and it was getting to the end of the time. So both of us were sort of kind of rushing to do our things, and we had been I'd been sort of like he's like, I'll keep control, I'll keep, and this was my bad because I should have sort of kept my own score as well, but he said I'll keep oh no, that's it, right? I did keep my own score because I was doing it was I was using objective cards because
He
it was
picked
with the
up
card.
his dice.
Yeah, he picked up
That was
the
when
guy
the
picked up his,
tournament organizer came round. He picked. That's
yeah,
awful.
he picked
That's
up his
so
dice,
bad.
and I was just like, and the thing is, man, it could have been that he won. It could have been that
Yeah.
he won, and annoyed me because I had to basically doubt him. And I said this, I said, look, man, we've had a really good game, but you know, he says, oh, and he said, he said to me, how many points have you got? And I said, I've got 21 or something.
Uh,
And then he went, oh, I've got this many. And then he picked up his dice, and I just kind of went, but and I didn't, you know, it's like, do I trust this guy? Because we've had a good time, so maybe I should be able to trust him. But then it's like, because he didn't give me the option to,
yeah.
so, and like,
And he asked you first.
yeah, and it could be that, he had those, it could be that he won. And I wouldn't have an issue because it was a good game. It got a bit sort of heated towards the end and stuff like that because obviously we were both sort of trying to win and stuff. But had he won, it wouldn't have bothered me had I had verification that that was it. But it was just the case that he went, yep, and he picked up his dice and I've won. And I was just like, but I don't know, man. And I said to the guy, I said, look, man, I said to the organizer, I said, yeah, I've got, you know, I'm pretty sure he had this many points. And he's like, no. I had this many points. And I was like, last time, from what I remember, and it could be wrong, you had this many and stuff, which would mean I'm winning by a point, I think. And he's like, no, I definitely had this. And they turned him organizer because he didn't have any. He just said, I'm just going to have to split the difference. So instead of like having the 3 points, he gave him 2, which means he beat me by 1 point. And I was just like, all right, man, fine. That's the way he said it. That's the way it is. But I was just like, can I just say to you, next time, don't pick up your dice. If you're organizing a dice, don't pick them up because I want to trust you, but I can't just take your word for it because you've literally just picked up these dice, and it sort of. There was a sort of a sour taste in it because it was a good game. He was a nice guy, and it got very heated at the very end, and I felt like a dickhead because I was having to challenge him on it, and I felt like the douchebag and stuff. And I'm happy to accept when I'm wrong because I've played a game with a Dark Angels player, and I was like, I didn't understand the rule, and I was like questioning him over and over, and I was like, this is wrong, man, you're wrong. And then he tried to explain it to me, and I was being a fucking dick about it. Well, I wasn't a dick, but I was just like, in my mind, it didn't make any sense. So I was just like, and then the organizer sort of said, yeah, but it's because of this and this. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. And I was like, I'm really sorry. And I profoundly apologized to this guy. And I said to him, I was like, look, man, I've been an absolute douchebag and stuff. I'm really sorry. I just didn't understand the rule, and I thought you were trying to have one over me and stuff. But I understand now, you know, my apology. And I apologized to him like throughout the game, you know, because I felt really bad because, you know, it was just me being mistaken. But this guy was just like, we had a good time. Then it got a bit too heated, and then it was just like, oh, I've won. And I'm just like, I was like, I can't say for one word or another, so I'm just going to have to go with what I don't have any proof, basically, so I can't do it. And so it put a bad taste in my mouth, basically.
What I always like doing is on tournaments is just having like a little tally. I'll have S on one side, their initial on the other. Turn 1, right? What did you score? We both put it down because then there's no arguments about it. It's like you agreed to each of these scores. That is what the score was at the very end.
Yeah, it's one of these things. It's just like, you know, despite what we
I
think.
agree though. Like, there's something you feel happier after the first loss
Yeah,
because then you're like, well, I can't win now,
yeah,
so then you can just enjoy it. It's definitely true.
yeah. You get like I said, the time I came third, and it was literally I had some good placements and stuff, and plus I was running at the time when Wolfen were good. I was running a lot of Wolfen and stuff, and people didn't understand what they could do, and so we're just sort of the guy charged knights into them and got absolutely obliterated and stuff, and it, it was just like stressful because you were playing people who really really knew their shit, because I'm a bit sort of forgetful and things. I'm just like so you had people who were sort of saying this is the way it is, and then because I wasn't 100% sure, I was having to question a lot and stuff because I was like, I don't sure is that right
Yeah.
and stuff. um so yeah, it's better when you have a lost game because you start playing people on your level. It's not as stressful and stuff. And if you lose a couple of games, then you play people who literally are just, they've got fluffy armies and they're not really giving a shit
Yeah.
and stuff, and
They're
it's a
there
lot.
for a good time. They
Yeah,
just
good
want
there
to
for a
play a
good time.
couple of games
It's
during the
good
day.
laugh. That being said, you do then get people who, like, I played one guy and he was just moaning all the time, and all the time he played, he was just moaning, and I was just like, man, it's a competitive game. I understand, like, I understand we all have our issues and stuff like that, but you have, like, it's not like you're playing your mates. It's a competition. You're not going to just rock up to a competition and play, a fluffy list, unless you just want to play the fluffy list. If you want to win, you kind of have to do the dirty and sort of
I
go.
mean, you say that, but we've had an entire episode where you argued that Games Workshop's bad because you should be able to
Yeah,
win
you
with
should
any
be. No, you
army.
should do. You should do. But I'm not saying this. There's completely two. These are completely different things. What Games Workshop should be doing,
Mm.
and what is sort of kind of meta and stuff, are completely different things, because it's like, in the end, what they're like. So what Games Workshop are like. Again, I'm still perpetually sort of toying with trying to write something about it and stuff like that. I don't like it,
I just
but
bring it up just to wind you up, so you have to admit on the podcast you still haven't finished
yeah.
it.
So I keep on arguing with myself to kind of write this thing, but it's like, um, if you actively choose to go into competition knowing that things are unbalanced and knowing that you have to optimize lists and you have to do this, then you've nailed your colors to the mast. You know what's happening. You've made that decision. It's completely down to you. So if you rock up with a fully infantry based list and you go up against knights and they rip you to shreds, that's not that other player's fault, because you've chosen that list. And
Yeah.
if you've chosen it, like, I played an orc player, he lost all his games. He was just like, he was running a really really sort of fluffy list. It was shit. It was just getting absolutely obliterated by everything. I felt bad because I beat him by so much, but it was he didn't care because he just wanted to play that list, and that was great.
I'm glad you've now told a good story about an orc player, because that's two bad stories. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my goodness, is this
He
a
did,
third?
but
Are orc players just dicks?
no, again, he just didn't care. He was just playing this lovely, fluffy list, and it was hilarious because he was just doing stuff. He says, because orcs, and he did stuff, and it was great. It was hilarious and stuff, and it was just really good fun. But I was just like,
And those are games that you find at the bottom tables. You don't find those games at the top
yeah, this is
table.
definitely bottom table stuff, and it's like,
I remember that.
you do get sort of kind of mid table is not too bad as well. It's just as soon as you start getting the top table, and especially if they know the rules and they know all the loopholes and things like that, that's where it becomes more stressful, because there's lots of gotcha moments. I hate gotcha moments. Like, I've had loads where it's just like, well, and I didn't realize, so they surround your flyer and blah blah blah. Oh, you can't escape. All your guys are dead. And I was just like, fuck's sake, man! I can't believe that.
Yeah, the dumbest thing I've ever done was the final of the UK tournament. First, entire tournament scene. Like, this game literally decided who was the first UK #1 winner of Mantic's Vanguard, and he was playing an amazing list with two necromancers. You had to get both necromancers on the floor. I had one on the floor. I was putting this other one on the floor. He was on the floor. It was time to kill him. This is my one chance. And if I kill these, I break the army and I'll probably win. And he charges this rubbish guy in, does like no damage at all to my big boss. My big boss has a shield that he can make an opponent re-roll a dice. So I get him to re-roll one of his attacks. His attack re-rolls into the critical, which means he counts as 2 hits, which means he had 3 hits, which meant the shitty little bat knocked me down. And I was like, I had no idea the bat could do that. Like,
Yeah.
that was so stupid. But I couldn't complain about it because this guy, he's the nicest guy. He wins most sporting and he wins tournaments,
Yeah.
which is incredibly unlikely. But he'd given me, as he always does at the beginning, gave me a list with each of the characters, their stats, and their special rules. Like, you can't get more honest than that.
Yeah.
I didn't bother reading it.
That's like I've Manny Chima, who's sort of he's like number one. I think he's 40k player. As much as I don't agree with the whole jumping to different sort of you know factions and stuff.
Meta chasing.
Yeah, meta chasing. But he's a very, very good player. But he's also very fair, and he's a very sort of, when you play him, he's a very nice guy, and he knows the rules back to front, inside out, and he'll even help you and stuff if he knows you're sort of like not great and stuff. And I've played him like twice, I think. And both times he's obliterated me. And but it's just sort of like, hey bro, and he's sort of very sort of kind of like, so he is a nice guy, and he doesn't have to be. He's not, he's strict, but he's not sort of like, he kind of explains things to you and stuff like that, which is.
It's one of those things is you don't want to, like, if you're that good, you can afford to be nice because you're like, well, I'll beat you even if you play your army. Like, even if you do all your special rules, I'm still going to beat you.
Yeah.
Which is how anyone that's good should be. It's not how we all are.
Yeah, but it's like he knows his list so well that, and he knows, I think he can tell. If he faces, like, my list was sort of fluffy Space Wolves type one. No, not fluffy. I generally go from fluffy / competitive. So it's like, it's stuff I like, but it's not super shit. And I think he just sort of looked at it and realized that, yeah, I'm going to win this game. Doesn't, there's not going to be sort of like, there's not going to be an issue. So I was doing things, and then he was sort of countering it and then sort of explaining to me why I was doing wrong and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, man. Nice one. But yeah.
Constructive criticism,
yeah,
not criticism, not construction. Constructive criticism.
Yeah, because I think he realized I wasn't a threat. But yeah, so yeah, so that's a completely different tangent than what are things about currently.
I can't even remember how that one came up.
Yeah, just segued into it.
Anyway, today's topic is a little bit of fun. We are going to, and you're more than welcome to play along as we play. Now, the question is, what do we want to do? Do we want to do your 10, my 10, or do we want to do 1-1-1? And do we want to give the answers at the end to give all the viewers a chance to fill in, or should we just give the answer after each one?
I think you should go give the answers at each one and stuff. I'm probably going to aim, I don't know, like 5 Warhammer ones and then 5 Lord of the Ring ones or something.
So do you want to do, you do one, I do one, or do you want to do like 5 at a time?
No, we'll just do one each. We'll do it a time across and stuff. Are you got 60 seconds?
Yep, that'll keep us on target.
Okay.
Right, here we go. Okay. Do we want to know, because we're doing Lord of the Rings and we're doing 40k, so do you want to do,
are we saying 40k, or can I do 30k stuff as well?
Sure, you do 30k. I was considering 30k, but we said 40k, so we can do 30k.
Yeah, it's just like sure. Warhammer. Yeah,
that's good.
I probably know a bit more about my 30k stuff than I do about my 40. Well, I know.
Okay, so we doing the Lord of the Rings or the 30k 40k first?
I'll do a Lord of the Rings one for you first.
Okay, so we're doing 1-1-1. How hard would it be for you to put a little counter on the screen? Would that be? Would that be a
that would be a mass. If
little text box. Would it be possible to add 2 little text boxes? Or no, 1 text box with just an S,
okay,
and then one with an M?
All right, to see if you a score. You want to score?
Yes, sorry, I could have worded that better.
You want to score text? Okay, text.
I mean, even just next to the just chatting, replace the just chatting with a score.
We'll add in some, and.
See, now there's a score. It just puts the pressure on it.
Sam and Matt. And then we will.
Just remember, you've got that just chatting that appears and disappears randomly.
I'll stick this.
Oh, you're going to put it in the black bit at the bottom?
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea.
Proper.
Man's done it before. Do you know, that's one thing I haven't quite mastered in OBS is you can make changes without it being live. And then you click a button and it all becomes live at the same time.
Yeah. I'll do this. So, okay, so we'll do that. I will shrink this down slightly.
Oh man, that makes it serious. Now there's a score tracker. Oh god.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll do the first one. So it's Lord of the Rings.
So I'm guessing or you're guessing?
You're guessing.
Okay.
And so it's Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna say I want the name. So just so I'm not gonna give you too much.
And just to clarify, we're doing characters. You haven't just chosen a random unit.
It's a character in Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Because I originally went through and read units, and then I was like, Matt's not gonna be able to do this. Like, if I name like Fountain Guard, like he's not gonna have a clue.
No.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready to start.
Okay, so you got your timer there. You gotta.
Stop. Oh, do you don't want to do the timer since?
Okay, yeah, I'll do my timer. Okay. So we want. Where is me stopwatch clock? Start. Okay, so Lord of the Rings, 60 seconds. Go.
Good.
No.
Evil.
Yes.
Sauron's forces.
Sauron, yes.
A general.
No.
One of the 9.
No.
Oh no. Spat on a boulder that was shot at him.
No.
Darn it. Appears in the books.
Yes.
Rides a mount.
Nope.
Oh no. Sam fought them.
Nope.
Aragorn fought them.
Nope.
Gimli fought them.
Nope.
Gandalf fought them.
Yes.
The Balrog.
What's his name?
The Balrog of Morgoth.
Nope.
Gothmog.
Nope. Last guess.
No idea. Flame of Udun.
He's called Durin. He's called Durin's Bane.
Is that his name or is that a nickname?
That's his name, Durin's Bane. That's what they call him. That's what he's named as. He's called Durin's Bane.
Ah.
I'll give you a point though for the Balrog, but yeah, he's called Durin's Bane. I had I was calling saying the name because it's like the Balrog's a bit easy, but if you get his name, I would have given you a bonus point for his name. But yeah, okay, I'll give you.
I mean, he's called the Balrog.
No,
I appreciate there are more Balrogs.
He's called Durin's Bane. That's the name. The one in Moria is called Durin's Bane. That's his name.
Okay, fair enough. It seems like a weird name.
Yeah, well,
like
it's the Bane.
Are you called Sam's Bane?
It's Durin's Bane. Well, it's like what your name. Bear in mind what your name is have meaning. So mine means gift. Matthew means gift from God. So Durin's Bane is and so it's a name.
It's a meaning of his name. So what's his actual name?
Durin's Bane. Well,
anyway, right, your turn. Lord of the Rings. 60 seconds. Go.
Oh wait. Am I timing this?
No, I'll time you.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I don't know about you, but I'll watch my timer.
Okay.
So I really don't like seeing the timer.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So start again then.
Lord of the Rings. 60 seconds. Go.
Okay. Forces of good.
Yes.
Elf.
No.
Dwarf.
No.
Hobbit.
No.
Human.
Yes.
Sort of. Gondorian.
No.
Human, sort of, eh? Are they half elf?
No.
Are they a magical being?
Yes.
Is it Tom Bombadil?
No.
Is it does he shapeshift?
Yes.
Is it Bjorn?
It is. I wasn't sure. Like, would you say yes? Because I don't know if Bjornlings are human as such. Are they human? Because their shapeshifting is a magical ability, but they're not like werebears as such. It's not like an infection. I don't know. Are they human?
I don't know.
You tell me.
No,
me neither.
technically they're not, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe.
Do you know what? Originally, I wrote Grimbor, but I was like, that's harsh. Like, do you think you could have got after if you'd said Bjorn, and I said no, would you have guessed Grimborn.
No, I don't think I would have.
Bjorn's son. No,
No,
okay,
I don't
cool.
think so.
I thought that was a bit harsh.
Okay.
Well
Right.
done. That's a 1-0. Oh god.
1-0, 1-1. I give you a point for Balrog. I give you a point.
Oh, so you did. Oh, that was very generous of you.
I'm very generous. Yeah, give you a point for Balrog. Okay. Okay. So we'll move on to Warhammer 30K.
Oof.
Warhammer 30K.
Yep.
Six.
Hang on. 30K before or after the Horus Heresy?
It's Horus Heresy.
Because was it the Horus Heresy sort of when it transitioned out of 30K, or
no, because it's 30K is the year 30,000. 40K doesn't hit until 40,000, so 10,000 years later.
So you're saying it's somewhere in 30K. You're not saying if it's before or after.
It's in the heresy. He's apart. He's there. He's before the heresy. He's before the heresy.
It's basically good or bad. Like, are we saying?
Yeah, so he's in there. He is a character in the heresy. Okay, in the Horus Heresy. He was there.
What I'm saying, if I say good or evil, are we counting the fallen ones as evil?
Well, no, because you can tell if they're good or evil because. Even if they were before the Horus Heresy, you count them as being as they are now.
Okay.
Effectively,
that's so good.
Yeah. Okay. So
I didn't want to say like evil, and you go like no, and I'm like what?
Okay. So
okay.
So we've got Warhammer 30,000.
Yep.
60 seconds. Go.
Are they a Primarch?
No.
Are they good?
Yes.
Oh, damn it. I had a person in mind and it's not that person. Are they a Psyker?
No.
Are they a Custodian?
No.
Did they help with the Primarch project?
No.
Are they a Space Wolf?
No.
Are they a Space Marine?
They are.
Okay. Are they a Commander?
Yes.
Are they a Blood Angel?
No.
Are they an Iron Hands?
No.
Are they a Salamander?
No.
Are they a Blood Angel?
No.
Are they an Imperial Fist?
No.
Are they a Space Wolf?
No. I'll give you a clue.
Are they an Ultramarine?
Just because they're good doesn't mean they are from a non-Traitor Legion. Last guess. Or from a Traitor Legion, there were still good people from the Traitor Legions.
Oh, is it Commander Garrow?
No, it wasn't Garrow.
Damn it!
We're talking about Saul Tarvitz, Emperor's Children.
Emperor's Children, yeah. Damn it!
Obviously, we're not sure if he's dead.
Was friends with Lucius.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that was dirty. That was so dirty. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Okay.
40K.
Yeah.
Well, I could be a dick and say that they were born in many years, but I'm not going to do that. We're not going to play with warp shenanigans. Okay. 40K, 60 seconds, go.
Okay. Are they Forces of Chaos?
No.
Imperium?
Yes.
Yes. Are they a part of the Inquisition?
Fucker, yes.
Are Eisenhower? Not Eisenhower now.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, is it? Are you going
for
like...
that was too obvious, man. Damn it. I wasn't sure, It depends if you read the books or not.
Yeah.
How did you narrow in on that so fast?
Because it was so obvious.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, to be honest, in my 40K.
Okay. My next one's gonna be nasty.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my next one. So we'll go back to Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to go for. Okay, yeah, I've got to go on for you. Okay, so Lord of the Rings, 60 seconds. Go.
Good.
Yes.
Main faction.
What do you mean main faction? I'm talking.
Okay. Are they Gondorian?
No.
Are they a named character?
Yes.
Are they part of the Fellowship?
No.
Um, are they encountered in Gondor?
No.
Are they encountered in a forest?
No.
Are they encountered in a city?
No.
Are they alive?
Yes.
Did they ride on something?
No. Well, they may do, but not in the books and stuff. No.
Are they in the movies?
Yes.
Do they? Are they human?
No.
Are they an elf?
No.
Are they dwarf?
No.
Are they human?
No. Hobbits? Are you looking for hobbits? Are they hobbits?
Are they a hobbit?
Yes. Yes, they are hobbits.
Are they a farmer?
No. Last guess.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, um,
I'll give you a clue. Oh, will I
that's
give you a
very
clue?
generous of me.
Oh no, because that clue may be a bit too. No, I'm not going to give you a clue because you may get it from
Okay.
that. There's one big clue, but I think you get it from that, so I can't give it to you. So it's a hobbit. It's a she. I'll say it's a she.
Rosie.
Yes, very good. That was your.
Yeah, you shouldn't have given me that clue.
Yeah.
That was way too generous giving me that clue.
Right.
Oh, gee. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I guess, are they a main faction? I guess hobbits are kind of central to the plot, aren't they?
So yeah, so there you go. I expect a good clue when I'm struggling. By the way, so I'm just you scratch my back.
Okay. Okay, I mean this one is going to be horrible and it's pedantic. I love it. So it's Lord of the Rings. 60 seconds. Go.
Okay. Forces are good.
Yes.
Elves.
No.
Dwarves.
No.
Hobbits.
No.
Humans.
Yes.
Are they Gondorian?
No.
Rohirrim?
Yes.
They're from Rohan.
Yes.
Are they royal family?
Yes. Well, yes.
All right. So is it Eowyn?
No. Yes. No. Yes.
Yeah. What? What? I say can't say it's Eowyn. What? Why are you saying no? Yes. It's either yes or no.
It's not Eowyn, but it totally is.
It is Eowyn. So I got it right then.
Not Eowyn.
It's not
But
what
it is.
I think you're.
Okay, this one was too pedantic, I think.
Why? What were you saying?
Do you want to have a guess? Like, who is Eowyn, but also not Eowyn?
Oh, are you talking to her when she's like her as they sort of kind of when she's
Yeah, this one was too pedantic.
she is Eowyn though, isn't she? You were sort of kind of having she is Eowyn.
Well, I was kind of like, can you remember the name?
I can't remember what they call her. Call him.
I'll give you a clue. It begins with a D. And it's a joke because literally all she does is put a helmet on.
Oh, I can't remember. It's gonna.
Darren Helm.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that's when it's her and the Hobbit on the horse.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super pedantic. Give yourself the point. It is Eowyn, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
If you decided to go down that route, would you have given Eowyn the point, or would you have gone, nah?
Well, I give you Durin's Bane.
I know. I'm just saying, like it was too sneaky.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good one, but it was too pedantic.
Bear with me 1 minute. I just need to. My next one. I just need to make sure that. Yes. Okay. All right. So, got another one for you. Okay. Warhammer 30K.
Okay.
60 seconds. Go.
Are they good?
Yes.
Are they Primarch?
No.
Are they in the good legions?
Yes.
Are they part of a legion?
Technically yes.
Okay. Are they a leader?
Technically yes.
Do they command? Are they a space marine?
No, they're not a space marine.
Okay. Are they transhuman?
They are transhuman.
Are they a psyker?
They are not a psyker, though. They have psychic wards.
What? Are they one of the people that helped in the Primarch project?
No, they didn't help with the Primarch project. Last guess.
Are they one of the Emperor's closest advisors?
No, they're not. Yeah, last guess.
For fuck's sake. They're kind of a space marine, but they're kind of not. They've kind of got psychic
Although I
abilities,
said they're
but
not,
kind of
they're
not.
not, they're not a space marine. They are kind of a leader,
And they are transhuman-ish.
and they are transhuman. Yeah.
Why 30k, man? Why not 40k? Man, oh. Um,
Have you read Master of Mankind?
no.
The one with the Emperor sort of fighting in the Warbway portal?
No.
You haven't?
No, I've read the first 9 books.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will. Okay. I will change it then. I'll give you a little bit more time. Okay. So, because you're not going to get this guy unless you know that book. Okay. So you're not going to get.
Oh, he's in one book.
He's in one book.
Then no, I have absolutely no clue.
Okay. Right.
He
so
was. Is he a perpetual?
No, he's not. He's a custodian guard.
Oh, then I have.
He's
I
a
have
custodian
no clue.
guard. So he's called Ra. And he's basic. He's called Ra, and he's basically he's a tribune, and he's basically at the end. Spoiler alert! If you've not listened to Master of Mankind,
Does he get stabbed with a blade inside of him?
Yeah, he gets stabbed, and then he
becomes a Grey Knight.
No, he gets stabbed. Basically, so there's I can't remember the name of
Dracnian.
He basically absorbs. The Emperor stabs him with this blade, which
Dracnian.
Yeah, and then
it's the blade that thingy now has Black Crusader,
the Anthema or whatever it's called. So basically, he runs off into the webway. You're not sure if he's dead or alive, but he basically absorbs all the darkness that's in this blade, and he takes himself.
It's Dracnian. It's the blade that is wielded by Temper Tantrum Man. What's his name?
Abaddon.
The War Master.
Abaddon.
Yes, Abaddon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he encounters him. He encounters him years later because he's led to him by Zeech, and then he takes the blade. Because we were never sure if he was corrupted or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't have gotten his name as Ra.
Yeah, his name Ra. So yeah, okay.
Because there's another guy who also gets stabbed or something, who then becomes a Grey Knight. He gets a name change.
There is one. So in you've got. It's not. You've got the name change. You've got Cerberus, who was Loken. So there's Loken, who basically he gets virus bombed, and then you think he's dead, and then Garrow turns up to the planet to sort of see what's going on, and there's all these sort of kind of people who are talking about Cerberus, this thing who comes out and kills all these people. But it turns out that all these people that Garrow was trying to help are actually cultists and are Nurgle sort of kind of spawn and stuff. And Cerberus is actually the mad version of Loken, who's basically trying to get revenge for what happened to his legion and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I can't remember who it is I'm thinking of. He's one of the founders of the Grey Knights, and basically he's originally one of the traitor legions, but he gets stabbed with something, and then he transforms into basically this other person.
Oh, are you talking about Torgadon? So basically, so you got what's his name? Erebus. Erebus basically kills Torgadon, who is one of Saul's mates, and one of he's basically what legions he's in. I think is Torgadon. Oh, whatever. It's Torgadon. Sure. What? Tarek Torgadon. Luna Will. Yeah. So he's part of it. So he's one of Garrow's mates and stuff. He basically gets killed by Erebus. He gets his throat cut and stuff, and then he gets turned into Tormageddon, who's like a demon who sort of has sort of like Torgaddon sort of kind of some of Torgaddon's sort of essence into him and stuff. So he is technically Torgaddon, but he's not. He's called Tormageddon.
No, it's not that guy. It's Ionis or Janus.
Oh, so Janus,
who's originally
Revel.
Vida of the Thousand Suns.
All right, yeah. So he becomes the first. The chapter master for the Grey Knights.
Yeah, but something weird happens to him as well. He gets like stabbed or something. But no, I know that I know the custodian you're talking about from like the lexicon, not because I've read that book.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed Ran a million years. I might have been able to guess the guy who was stabbed with the.
I was gonna go for.
Do I get a point for Dracnian?
Yeah. It's good
he gets possessed by Dracnian. Yeah, I didn't see that at the time. Fair play. Oh my goodness, 30k. Do you know what? I'm tempted to just throw in like Warhammer Old World or Age of Sigmar.
I don't know anything about Age of Sigmar at all.
Cool. Very well done. Very well done. Oh, okay. 40k.
Yep.
60 seconds. Go.
Okay. Are they Space Marine?
No.
Are they Imperial Guard?
No.
Chaos?
No.
Tau?
No.
Eldar?
No.
Are they human?
No.
Are they Tyranids?
Nope.
What other factions have I gone through that I haven't said? So we've said Nids, we've said
You haven't said orcs.
Orcs. Okay, yeah, orcs. Sorry, yeah.
No, it is orcs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it fuck, what's his name? Fuck, what's his name? Is he an orc who was dead and resurrected by
No.
So he's not the guy who was resurrected by Khorne to eternally fight.
No.
Oh shit, okay.
Last question. Or you can play your chit to get a clue.
Okay. Okay, I'll have my chit, please. I'll have my clue.
He's not an orc.
He's not an orc. But wait a minute. So
strictly speaking, he's not an orc. Strictly, like according to the pure definition of what you're thinking of as an orc, he's not an orc.
Ooh, he's one of these ones. One of the mining guys, possibly.
Okay, I'll give you another clue. He's a Gretchen. Do you consider a Gretchen an orc?
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, well, it's part of the orc.
You see what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they are sort of, like, in Warhammer Fantasy, orcs and goblins are separate.
Right.
But in Warhammer 40k, I think Gretchen are, like, weak orcs. It's kind of hard to say.
Okay.
He's a Gretchen.
Okay, is he a flag bearer?
Yes.
Is he Gal's? What's his name?
He is.
Oh, fuck! What's his name? What's his name?
You'll never get it. If you get it, you deserve every point you earn.
What's his fucking name? Oh, I can see him. Oh, what's his name? He's got, oh my god, Galzak or whatever his fucking name is, his mate, his little,
Everyone's watching your glasses now to see if the mouse is moving.
Begins with like an M or something, doesn't it?
It does! Oh my god!
Let's go. Macquarie!
Yes!
Fuck me, man. Yeah, alright.
Well done.
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah, alright.
Is he an orc?
No, he's I see where you're coming from, yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to say. If it was in fantasy, I'd be like, well, he's not an orc, he's a goblin.
I wouldn't have got it if it, you know, I get the point. I wouldn't have got it. He's sort of not giving me my clues and stuff. Hence why I paid that forward earlier. Okay. It's 4-2, Sam. I will go, so it's Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I will go for all right, okay. So this is technically an easy one, but I want the specific name for this person. There is different names, but I want this specific name. You should know this one. I'm not. It's not an obscure one. You should know it, but if you don't, then get out of town. But you should know it, so it's not obscure. But I want that specific. I want this specific name.
Oh God.
Okay, so Lord of the Rings. 60 seconds. Go.
Good.
No.
Evil.
Yes.
One of the Nine.
No.
Sauron's forces.
He is not. He is. Sauron is is pre-Sauron, so we'll say it's Silmarillion stuff. Silmarillion stuff.
Oh, for God's sake, Melkor.
Yes, Melkor. Very good.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, of all the Silver Meridian stuff you could go to, that was generous.
Yeah, well, the thing is, because people say Morgoth, but it's obviously Morgoth, Melkor, and stuff. So that's why I'm saying specific, because people say Morgoth and stuff. But so Melkor, very good. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've got any of the Lord of the Rings ones wrong yet.
No, yeah, I mean, you're all good. Yeah.
It's all the 30 one.
Yeah.
Okay. Lord of the Ring. Oh God, no, that's too easy actually.
I threw you a bone, just remember.
Lord of the Ring. I gave you plenty of bones in that last one. Lord of the Rings, 60 seconds, go.
In the original, is he in the trilogy, the films? Or are they in the films?
They do not physically appear in the films, no.
Okay. Are they a wizard?
No, they're not one of the Astari, if that's what you're asking.
They're not in the story. Okay. They're not. Are they? They're not in the films. They're not in the story.
They do not appear in the films.
They not appear in the films. Ooh, they're mentioned.
So they might be mentioned.
They're mentioned. Okay.
So.
Okay.
It's amazing how fast technicalities pop up.
Okay. Are they a blue wizard? Oh, sorry, they're not a starry, so they can't be a blue wizard. Okay, so are they elf?
Yes.
Are they? Is it Celebrimbor?
No.
Is it?
Final question.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what's even funnier? It was originally going to be Celebrimbor, but then I changed it.
Okay. One more question. So he's an elf. He's mentioned in the films. He's not in the films. Right. So let's think. Is it? Oh fuck! What's his name? Fuck.
Is this going to be another Macari? You're just going to like pull it out one letter at a time?
Fuck. What's his name? Is he a part of? Is he a part of the Woodland Realm? So basically,
no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Although, if it turns out he is, I'll give you a second guess.
His name's completely gone. I can kind of sort of there.
Okay, who would you guess in the Woodland Realm then?
No, because I can't think of the name. It's like it's like there. I can sort of kind of pick. I can get it sort of like in my head, but they can't articulate.
Have you got a letter?
No. It's just like I can. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know.
It's a king.
He's a king. Oh,
of him the harper sadly sing. Once was the brightest star, then fell into darkness and despair.
Oh God, my blank's gone completely wrong. You're saying that now. What?
Have you been watching Rings of Power?
Yeah. So is it? Oh fuck! What's his name?
Begins with a G.
Oh, Gil-galad.
Gilgalad was an elven king.
Oh Oh, right, shit,
Of
yeah.
him the harpers sadly
Yes, I wasn't
sing.
thinking the to be honest, when I was thinking films, I wasn't thinking Gil-galad, obviously, but yeah, technically,
Yeah. The
Gil-galad gets
song's in
killed.
the film, so that's why I was like,
Yeah, Gil-galad gets killed by Sauron at the battle. Him and Isildur are killed. Um, right, okay, yeah, very good, cool.
Look, no, he doesn't look like I thought he would look like
A
in
lot of
Rings
them
of
don't
Power.
look like the way you think they look like. I think a lot of them don't.
And also, Gil-galad was a badass. Like,
Yeah,
this guy just a bit oopty.
yeah. Okay, yeah, Gil-galad's a good one. Okay, how many have we done so far?
Right, this is the first one you've lost, so 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so 5. Right, okay. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to do 10 each and stuff. I think we're gonna have to hit on 5. Right. So I did 30k last time. I'm gonna do back to. Oh no, did I do Lord of the Rings last time? I did Lord of the Rings last time because we did Melkor. Okay, so we're gonna go for. Okay, this is a relatively easy one, I think. Let me just 100% check I'm getting this right. Make sure.
The fact that you're having to check it is just how hard
No.
it is.
I just need to make sure I get a certain part of it right and stuff. Okay. All right. So, Warhammer 40k, 60 seconds. Go.
Good.
Yes.
Imperium.
Yes.
Space Marine.
No.
Human.
Yes.
Augmented.
Not.
Astra Militarum.
Yes.
Commissar.
No, it is not a commissar. He's not a commissar.
Damn it. Male.
He is.
Living.
Yes.
Psyker.
Nope.
Commander.
No, he's not. Oh, he's no, wait, no. Arguably, he is a commander. He is a commander. Yeah, sorry, ignore me. Yeah, he is a commander.
Okay. Has he had a book?
I haven't read all of them, so I'm kind of going from what I kind of know and stuff. So he could have. He is in the books.
Is he a renowned fighter?
He is named in these books.
Does he have a special weapon?
God. Not that I know of.
Does he have a special name?
Does he
have a significant rank?
He does have specific rank. He has a high rank.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, but again, if I haven't sort of read all of the books yet, so he's died recently. I don't know.
Has he been captured by Necron?
No. Well, okay. I'll give your clue is who was the commissar you were thinking I was going to mention?
Well, I mean, there's Caiaphas Cain, there's Yarrick, there's Ghosts, Gaunt's Ghosts.
So who okay. So yeah, okay. He's a part of Gaunt's Ghosts.
Oh, he's the guy with the plasma gun with the augmetic arm. You said he's not a commissar. Sorry,
he is. I say so. He is dead. No, so he is actually dead now.
He's not. So he was a commissar,
He's not a commissar,
and he was not augmented at the point of him dying.
No.
Trying to think of any other questions that I asked because that narrows it down to 2 people. And he's a commander. He's called Colmbrick.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
very good. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Because the other person that could have been is Bragg.
Yeah.
Because Bragg is not augmented, but he was blooming strong.
Yeah.
Yes. I know 40k.
Yeah.
Don't know 30k.
I'm just reading or listening to the God's Ghost stuff at the minute,
Oh,
and I'm well
I'm
behind.
so sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a spoiler then.
Yeah, it's
But you chose him as a character.
Yeah, that's right. I was just sort of because obviously. But
do you know what? Just be prepared because that series is lethal. Game of
Yeah.
Thrones, eat your heart out. Like,
I was like, wait a minute,
but I
he's
like
not
that.
dead.
I like
He's not.
that.
He's not dead yet. Oh no, I haven't read all the books. I'm sort of shitting myself.
You know what?
In the foot here.
Prepare yourself for absolute salt because it's a BS death as well.
Yeah.
Like it's such BS.
Okay.
Okay.
We're now even because
Right.
we both failed one. Last one.
Okay.
We'll do so we'll do one each, and then that'll be it, I guess. Oh, wait a minute. So if that was back to me, that's you. I haven't failed two. Surely. I failed one. Why are you
Who's the one after Macari?
So you didn't get Ra. I didn't. You didn't get Ra. I didn't get Gilgalad.
Yeah, I think that was the only one, wasn't it?
So it's one each. Then we've got one left. So okay, do one left each. This is the tiebreaker, Sam.
Okay. Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. Space Marine.
Nope.
Astra Militarum.
Nope.
Eldar.
Yes.
Is it Uthway?
No.
What's his God, my Eldar knowledge is fucking grim.
Right, were you talking about race or were you talking about faction? Because that got a little bit squiffy.
Oh, okay. So is he Eldar? Is he elf? Eldar? Is he?
Yes.
He is elf. Okay, Eldar. Okay. Is it? Oh God, I don't know very many Eldars. Is it a she?
No.
It's a he.
Right, I feel like there might have been some confusion here, right? So, if you had been talking about a human and they were chaos, they would still be human, wouldn't they?
Okay, right, okay.
Because you asked me, that's why I clarified. I meant the race because an Eldar is still an Eldar regardless.
All right, sorry, he is.
That's
Eldar.
why I wanted to clarify.
Right,
that.
okay. So is he Imperium? Is he Imperium?
No. No, what I was clarifying, because you asked Eldar, but you didn't specify whether you meant race or faction. So then you asked again, and you said Eldar as in race, as in elf, and I said yes.
Okay, right. Okay.
But what I want to clarify is if a human is a human in the Imperium versus a human in the Chaos, they're still
so
human,
if you're naming factions, so like if I said, is he Eldar?
No.
So he's not, right, okay. But he is an elf, effectively.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Is he Dark Elf?
Yes.
God.
Which I would say is he's still an Eldar, the faction.
Yeah, okay, right, okay, yeah. Okay, so he's Dark Elf.
I asked this question, by the way, when you were out of time, so...
Yeah, okay.
So you've got one more question.
Okay, so he's Dark Eldar. Is he a... It's not Vex, is it?
It's not Vex.
Okay. Who is it?
Drazar, Master of Blades.
I don't know my Dark Eldar.
Wow, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Surely you've seen him on the Battletop. He's
I'm sure I've
absolutely
seen him, but yeah, again, I don't know my.
He's the leader of the. Do you know the Incubi?
Yeah. Oh,
he's
right,
like an Incubi.
I know the guy. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Because it is I, and I will go for. Who am I going to go for? I'm going to go for. Okay. Warhammer 30k. 60 seconds. Go.
I like how I sent you a message and I was like, what would you want to do? And you were like, yeah, 40k in Lord of the Rings. I don't know, Age of Sigmar or Old Hammer.
You surely know your 30k stuff. This one should be pretty easy. If you know any main characters. So there's some big clues for you. Go on. Guess.
You didn't say stop.
Okay, so I'll reset.
What? 30, what? You 30, didn't say 60 seconds, go?
I did.
You did
I
not.
did said 30 seconds. Hey, you can watch this back, Sam. You can see that I did.
I can, and I will.
Yeah, you will. And when you're wrong, I'll get the bonus point for the tiebreaker because you're wrong.
If you've talked after you've said the 30 seconds, though, it doesn't count.
Okay. All right. New rules, is it? New rules. Okay, right. Okay, so Warhammer 30k, 60 seconds. Go.
Good.
Yes.
Space Marine.
No.
Perpetual.
No.
Psyker.
No.
Astra Militarum.
Nope.
Oh no! What else is there? Scientist.
No.
Assassin.
No.
What's not in this? What's not in the Space Marines and not in Astronomica?
No.
Titanicus.
No.
Mars.
No.
Cogboy.
No. You're probably going to kick
So then-
yourself when you get this, you know that. But this sort of, yeah, so.
The ruler of all.
No.
What? So then, so they're non-human,
They are human. They're transhuman.
but they're not a Space Marine.
They're not space.
Is it?
marine.
Oh my god. I've no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
Last question. You're going to kick yourself. You'll know this one.
So that they're not a Space Marine. They're not in this Astra Militarum. They're not in Titanicus. They're not a person from Mars. They're not in the
A person from
Aeronautica.
Mechanicus.
They're not Mechanicus. And they're not in Titanicus.
They're not in the Titan Legions, no.
And they're not a scientist.
They're not a scientist.
And they're not a commander.
They are a commander.
And they're not a psyker.
And they're not a psyker.
But they are transhuman. And they're in 30k.
30k. There's one
And they're not a perpetual.
And yeah, they're not a perpetual.
Oh, there's
no.
one faction I haven't named
You've
in
not
the
mentioned
Imperium.
it, no.
Don't tell me this is because you're going to go, oh, the Astra Militarum didn't exist.
Nope.
They were actually called the Solar
No,
Auxiliary.
Yeah, no,
So
they're not Solar Auxiliary, no.
Oh, God, but they're human. Well, transhuman.
They're transhuman, yeah. Which is a big clue. And you'll know this guy.
So is this my final question or my guess?
You can have a guess because you've had a lot of questions already in time travel.
Okay.
You can have a guess.
Oh, all those things were just reaffirming what I already
Okay,
asked
so you can have one more question if you want. Yeah.
Okay, are they a custodian?
They are a custodian.
Damn it. Is the name... Are they Valdor?
Yes! What's his full name?
Oh! That's... Oh! Oh!
I'll give you the point for it, Sam.
I
But
wanted to keep calling him Caldor Drago.
it's Constantine Valdor.
That's what I was going to go with.
Yeah,
I was going to say Constance rather than
Constantine Valdor.
Caldor.
There you go.
I think you got the points wrong, though. I'm fairly certain...
Yeah,
I'm fairly certain you won. I don't think we should be
I think it's a
4-4.
draw because I've only dropped one and you've only dropped one. I think it's 5-5.
No, I've definitely dropped more than one.
No,
I've not got any of your 30Ks right. I think you've messed up the points. I'm fairly certain you won by a landslide.
No, because
I'm sure it's like
wait a minute.
7-3.
I didn't get Gil-galad, and I didn't get that last one, so I didn't get 2.
Trezor Master of Blades.
Yeah, so I haven't got 2. You didn't get 1.
Get any of the 30Ks?
No, you didn't get
So I didn't get the guy who was stabbed with a blade.
Oh, you didn't get Ra. You didn't get Saul Tarvitz. So it's even. So you didn't get 2, and I didn't get 2.
I'm sure you got it wrong. I'm sure you won. Have you got your list there? So you got Lurtz, you got Bjorn, you got Darren Helm. Balrog was on my list as well, by the way.
Yeah.
You got Inquisitor Eisenhorn.
Yeah.
Oh, that is 4.
Yeah, 4. So I think we're even. I think we're even.
I feel like you should have one more.
Like I said, I failed in 2, and you failed in 2. So you didn't get Tarvitz, and you didn't get Ra. I'm trying. I don't
Did
think.
you describe first, though? I'm sure you described first, so
Yeah.
you still have one more to go.
No, because I've just gone.
No, I just went.
No, I did because I was sort of your Constantine Valder was my one.
No, I'm saying you described first.
Oh right, yeah. So you got to go.
So
Right.
you have one more go.
Right.
Right. So this is
Yeah.
what it comes down to.
Right. Okay.
Right.
This is
Okay.
it. So it's a
So
draw.
yes.
Otherwise,
Okay.
yes. Okay.
40k.
Oh God. Okay.
You have 60 seconds.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Astra Militarum.
No.
Space Marines.
No.
Eldar.
No.
Orc.
No.
Gretchen.
No. I was assuming you're going by faction.
Okay, faction. Okay. Dark Eldar.
No.
Tau.
No.
Nids.
No.
Chaos.
Yes.
Are they a demon prince?
No.
Are they a named character?
Yes.
Is there a miniature for them?
Yes.
And they're chaos.
Well, I'll say yes with a caveat. I'm fairly certain it is.
Oh, are they an old miniature?
No.
There's a new version of him.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain.
Okay, and he's not a demon prince. Is he a demon? Is he a demon?
Yes.
It's not Bellicor, is it?
No, because that's a demon prince.
Okay. So he's a demon. He's not a demon.
You wait a time, so you've got a question and you've got a guess.
Okay, so we've got Chaos. He's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
He's a named character.
Mm-hmm.
There is a miniature, and there is a new miniature.
Fairly certain.
And there is a new miniature. Chaos, and he's a demon. Named. And he's not a demon prince, so it's not going to be Carbadon. It's not going to be, or is he a blood? He's a bloodletter, or is he a demon prince? Not Carbadon, is it?
Bloodthirster,
Bloodthirster, Bloodthirster.
But no, it's not that.
Okay, no, don't know.
Hugath.
Don't know. Yeah.
He's the Nurgling that fell into Papa Nurgle's pot, drank all of it, and turned into a great unclean one.
Ah, okay.
Do you remember his story?
No, doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, he's one of the sculpts that you can make from the new Great Unclean One box set.
All right. Well, there you go, Sam.
So he's like the Scarbrand equivalent.
Ah, Scarbrand.
You know how like you got Scarglan is king of the Bloodthirsters.
Yeah.
He's king of the Great Unclean Ones. Who are the kings of the other two? Oh, you've got the two-headed one that talks nonsense, Zeech one.
God, my knowledge, my 40k knowledge is actually considering I play it. It's
Kratos Fate Weaver.
Oh, Fate Weaver, yeah.
Who's the Slanesh one? I don't know any Slanesh ones.
Yeah, again, I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
Well, there you go. A draw. Well fought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could do that all night, but I guess this is as good point as any to thank you all for listening. If you want to support the show, leaving comments, likes, and reviews always helps, and you can always check us out on Patreon as well. Otherwise, we'll be doing this in 2 weeks' time, next Sunday, and we shall see you then. Thanks for listening.
Bye.